Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Around the Table. We're so happy to have you join us for another great conversation. All right, you guys. One of the things I love about our friendship and our lives together and the things that we and our husbands are going after is the kingdom of God is very prevalent in our lives, and it's a passion for all of us. And and I was recently thinking about just that idea of the kingdom of God coming to earth and what that call is for us as Christians, and what does that mean? And the Lord reminded me of something I think I heard Bill Johnson say, where he said, there is a king, and this is what he looks like. And that's our goal, is to say there is a king, and my life, I want to demonstrate what he looks like. So kind of thinking about that, the topic that we wanted to go into today is how do we bring the kingdom, or what does it look like from a kingdom perspective when we're dealing with hard things in life? Because some things in life are hard because it's the fall of man, and it's not the kingdom, and it's hard. Some things in life are because we're in a battle. But how do we approach those hard things? And we all get them. We all face them. How do we approach them in a kingdom way? Right? And we've talked before about, like, we recently did an episode on fear, and I encourage you, if you didn't watch that episode, it's super powerful, and we've gotten some good feedback on it, so I'd encourage you to watch it. But just in terms of like normal things that we as humans deal with, like anxiety, depression, insecurity, lack of confidence, just these hard things that really it's an epidemic in the world and in society. Right. How do we go about that when we're hit with it from a kingdom perspective? Yeah. All right, who wants to go first? Joe.
I think Robin did. I heard her earlier say,
no, I don't actually need to go first, but I was thinking about, like, gosh, in particular, I don't think I've ever really struggled with depression per se, but just that anxiety piece of, when you're, even this week, just everything was pressing in on me, and lots of heavy decisions, and lots of heavy movements, and lots of heavy, just things coming at the company. And I felt that anxiety come up of, like, I went into like ultra protect mode. Like I have to protect everything. Yeah. And it wasn't until I just paused, and just yesterday was like, wait, you're my protector. And you partner with us on this earth to give us strategy to overcome anxiety and overcome the things that are pressing into us. The Lord partners with us when we pause and we invite him into this space. It's really important. I forget. Because I just go into like,
let's go.
It's
fix
war.
it.
Like it's a war.
Right.
But,
or problem solve.
Or problem solve.
For sure.
Yeah. But often when I problem solve, it's wrong. Or it's a little bit like, oh, I could have done that better. But I think when we pause and we really feel that, and I understand that there's different levels of anxiety and pressures on people's lives, and there's no comparison one life to another, but it's personal to that person. I think that when we just one tool is to pause and just ask the Lord, how can you help me in this? Because I need your help, because he's the helper. And he did it. Even for me this week, of just like, okay, this is what I want you to do, and go overdrive here. And it was a helpful solution. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's the partnership with the Lord.
And he always shows up.
Yeah.
He does.
He always shows up.
Yeah.
We got to invite him in, though.
We do.
And pause and listen. And, and that's the part when we're in that space of like, I got to fix this. I got to shift. I got to pivot. I got to make something happen. That it's hard to just pause and just acknowledge, right? Like, you're with me. And you actually have something to say, and I can lean on your wisdom and strategy in this moment. Right. So I love that. I was just thinking, and now I know what I was going to say.
Go for it, Joe.
Okay, so I was laughing, thinking, well, for me, And again, I absolutely agree. I think that's the first thing you do. And when that kind of comes up, that's the first place we want to go. But then for me, I know if I'm struggling still, like I'm still like, okay, I'm having a hard time getting past this feeling or emotion. Two things. One, what am I believing? Because we've talked about that a lot, about beliefs. Like, what are we believing? Because our beliefs really are an indicator and actually partner with our emotions and our thoughts. So what am I believing? And then also phone a friend. So, because I know for me, when I'm feeling all of that, to actually speak it out loud, right, dismantles a bit of maybe that pressure and the lie or the anxiety or the fear. Like, okay, I've said this out loud. Now this doesn't feel so horrible or so scary or so overwhelming, and someone's partnering with me because, the Word of God says where two or more are gathered, I am in their midst. So when you can like come together with somebody, phone a friend and say, I need to share this with you. This is what I'm feeling, experiencing, and I need you to pray with me.
So good.
And that always has been such a marking moment of like, okay, I did this. And I'm getting to the other side because now it's like that thing is exposed, whether it was a lie or a feeling that actually wasn't me, or it was a belief that I was believing about something. It's exposed.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, I can move forward and I've got some perspective and I think even like, I know for me, just like texting friends, even if I can't get a hold of them, just saying, I need you to pray for me because this is going on and I'm just feeling whatever.
You're so good.
Even in doing that, I feel the pressure relieve a little bit because I think the lie is, you have to deal with this. You're alone. You got to figure it out. You don't need to call anybody. You should be able to deal with this on your own. Don't be a bother. You're too much.
That's my issue.
All those things when it's like, actually, that's the enemy separating us, right? So he can keep us in that space of, you got to deal with this and nobody cares. Yeah. And nobody needs you to bug them.
Wow.
But the truth is actually when we partner in relationships and we actually speak the truth of what we're experiencing in that moment, the lie gets exposed, the pressure gets exposed, it just relieves that, what I'm talking about? It just relieves that thing of like, okay, I can breathe again.
Because so much of it is a lie that if it's exposed, now the enemy is exposed and can be eradicated.
Exactly.
And the truth can come in. But when we hide it, and I think the temptation, I know for me, in hiding it, or you don't want to be a bother, other people are busy, or sometimes it's like embarrassing somehow that something that's coming at you or that you're struggling with, I should be bigger than this. I should be able to handle this by myself, which is also a lie. And I would say like, knowing I have trusted friends that are going to love me, even if I'm weak and even if I should be handling this better, they're going to love me through it and go, we got you, let's expose the lie. Let's talk about this and you're good. You've got this. Yeah.
Well, and even to speak into, because I know we've talked about this as well, like when your friends know your life and your story and your history in God, and they also have heard maybe even prophetic words spoken over your life or things that God's declaring over your season, they can remind you of that when you're in the midst of a struggle and go, okay, let me just remind you, like, I know this feeling is real, but here's the truth. And here's what I know about you and your season and what the Lord is doing. So let's focus on that. And we're gonna acknowledge this, but we're not gonna actually let this take root. Which will happen in isolation.
So true.
I call it like, I could go down the rabbit hole, right? I could go down the rabbit hole, and we all could, but in those moments we get a choice. Do we want to pause and like invite the Lord in? And in that moment too, do we need to call a friend and say, I need you to come alongside me in this because I'm struggling to get past.
Right. I think I love that. I love the friendship piece. I think that's why it's so important to have really good friends, really trusted friends that will really tell you the truth.
Yes.
When you're believing a lie or whatever, whatever the issue is. I think friends are faithful to not only help us come out of agreement with something. But also, I mean, there have been many times the three of us have been talking, and it's like one of us will say something and we'll just like eradicate that and go, no, that's just a big poof. Like, don't even think that, you know?
Right.
So, and I also think in partnership with friendship, it's really important to go to the Lord for strategy.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
For strategy of the thing that is caught. Like, he'll show you the root of the anxiety or
So good.
Yes.
the root of depression or the root of that kind of hovering thing over us. It's not just one person. It's
Right.
all of us struggle at some level. He'll show us the root if we invite him into that place. I really
That's
believe
so
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about you had a rough week. I had a rough week too. And for me, it was, I think I've shared on the show before actually that like one of my fears is being a disappointment.
Yeah.
I think I had shared that about being on the board. And well, this week it happened. I was a disappointment to a few people. And it's exactly what you went through where all of a sudden you're in a situation and it's like, whoosh, this pressure. You had the weight of like a company on your shoulders. I had the weight of like, there's 40,000 kids that I'm overseeing. There's however thousand voters that put their trust in me. And it can just feel so overwhelming.
It's weighty.
And I had to go, okay, it's happened. What I didn't want to happen has happened. But what do you say, Lord?
Yeah.
Take me back to what you say. And it's that elevating our vision to like, okay, I have to go back. Maybe I have been a disappointment. Like, okay, where do I need to adjust? What do I need to go after that I'm not going after? Lord, I will listen to you.
Yeah.
Because you love me, you put me in the seat and all of that. And he shows up every time. I'm just telling you, I just started journaling things and I'm like, because I'm listening to him in that space. And then again, it's like you call the people who love you, who know your call, the call on your life and why you were put in a position to run a company or put on the board or, all the things that we're all doing. And those people will remind you of the truth so that you can, because the enemy, you've said this before, the enemy wants us to hide. And so he will try to lie to us to get us to hide, to get us to shrink down, to get us to believe I'm not enough, I'm a failure, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I love that. So we've got, so how do we approach this in a kingdom way? Well, first of all, we bring it to the Lord.
Yeah.
Second of all, we bring in our friends, our trusted friends.
Jojo has helped me with that because I go so internal with all of this stuff. You've helped me with this, Jiv, too. Like, it's so interesting how the Lord brings the perfect people in your life in the perfect season of our lives. But I fight, like, I go internal, like, I just need to solve it. Like, I need to fix it. And that's actually gotten me in trouble before, So you guys have taught me that to just go, no, come on, come on.
Well, it really is a kingdom thing.
Yeah,
relationship is kingdom. He did not want us to do life alone.
Yeah, we don't grow outside of relationship, right?
Right.
Because we're all very different. We all come at things in a different way. We have different experiences, perspectives, filters. And so if we're not processing that together in relationship, if we're not talking about the things that are going on with us, then we are actually getting stuck, you know, and we're actually not growing because we need each other, to get to where we're going and where the Lord's taking us. That's absolutely kingdom. And I was thinking too, like our culture is very like self-sufficiency, right? Like, I think that's part of one of the lies that gets uncovered in these moments of anxiety, fear, or even depression. Like this self-sufficiency, like, again, we kind of touched on it, like, I got to figure this out. Nobody can handle this.
Yes.
I'm too much. Nobody's available. I don't want to bother anybody. So I just have to be self-sufficient, which is the exact opposite of kingdom living.
It is.
Right.
And so I would just encourage anybody who's feeling that way, just to recognize, like, am I creating a narrative about my life and my world that is actually not kingdom?
Right.
And how can I adjust and pivot here and start bringing people into my reality of like what I'm going through? Because you hear those stories of people who are like, I've been dealing with this for years, and you're like,
and you didn't know.
I had no idea. I wish you would have shared this. And when they share it, they're like, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you know what? There are a lot of Christians that do that.
I know.
They will hide. Yeah. Especially the embarrassing thing. Yeah. A lot of people. People do that.
Shame and
well, because
embarrassing.
I mean, serious things that people go through, they will hide for years and years, even from the closest people to them. And that's. There is something so powerful about bringing something to the light, even if it's embarrassing. Guess what? We're all embarrassing.
Everybody.
We're all embarrassing. We're humans. We've all had hard things, dumb things, bad decisions, foolishness. We've all dealt with it. So bringing it out,
talking about
trusting the people that love you, and just going, I got to uncover this and I need help.
Right. And we make it so complicated. Like, we've talked about this a little bit too. Like, we can overthink things, overanalyze, over-examine, and it's just very simple. Like, simple adjustments can change everything. And just
you need a friend that says, "Stop it."
Just stop it.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I know. It's true though. Sometimes you just need to hear it, even though you're like, ouch. But you're right. Like, I need to stop. Or even like you were saying, inviting the Lord into it can just be so simple, like a moment of just pausing and saying, why am I feeling this way? Like, all of a sudden, something can come on you and you're like, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
And if you sit in it for 30 seconds, even less than that, He's so faithful. He'll, remind you of a memory or an experience you had. That's a root that's creating this thing, and you have to actually come out of agreement with it, and take that and deal with that with the Lord. So I love this conversation because it's important to remember.
It is. And I want to just add something really quick, because this is harder for people that are good listeners to actually share what's going on inside of you.
Yeah, it's true.
So I know I struggle with that. Like, I'm a good listener, but I actually have over the years really struggled with not internalizing everything, but just like letting it out, even if it just sounds really stupid or whatever. I know there's people out there that struggle with this, where they are, just faithful friend, loyal, listening, all the things, but they're not actually pouring out the thing that is actually they need help with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I want to address that.
That's so good. I feel like there's another level to this. Like, what we've been talking about is kind of circumstantial and in the moment. But I want to recognize too that there are people that deal with this is their normal, is constant anxiety or constant depression. Like you've said, depression isn't something that you really dealt with. And not me either, but I have definitely had days where I feel blue and sad.
Everyone does.
And I think, I can't believe there's people that this is their reality all the time. And so I don't know if we want to continue. I'm looking at the clock. But maybe really quickly, or we'll just take a few minutes and we can dive into this another episode, because I think there's layers and we may want to dig into it more. But for the people that feel like this is just how it's been for me for so long, this is what I've dealt with for so long, like, what would we say to them in terms of getting free from that or breaking off the belief that this is how life is supposed to be? I don't know. Do you guys have thoughts just about that more like serious chronic anxiety or depression? What would you guys say?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because it's a reality and it's real. And I would say, what I would want to say is, don't ever lose hope or ever think that God doesn't want to heal this or free you from this. Because I think that can be the narrative of like, I've gotten prayer, I've done all the things, nothing's changed. That may be true, and that's hard, but don't ever stop pursuing prayer and freedom and just try to keep your heart in that space of like, God does want to heal and give me freedom and deliverance.
Right.
That's who He is.
Right.
So that is true. So don't let that overshadow your current circumstance or what you've been experiencing for years. And I know it's hard to do that. So again, it's like taking that to the Lord, having friends in your life you can share that with honestly. And so they can actually help bring you into spaces. It's like the friends who lowered the man into the room. Like they had belief that God wanted to do something. But when we're in it by ourselves and we think, okay, I've had all the prayer, I've done all the things, nothing's ever going to change. Yeah. But if our friends know, if we've let them into that space of where we're at, then they can actually bring us into the atmospheres and the rooms and the places that maybe that's going to build up our hope again and be reminded of who God is. So I would just say, don't lose hope that there is freedom God has for us and for you, but we've got to just continue to be around people who believe that for you and will champion that over your circumstance.
I want to hear what you have to say. I just want to tag on to that to say, the reason you should not give up hope on the Lord wanting to heal you is because anxiety and depression are not from the Lord. The fruit of the Spirit, it says, are love, joy, and peace. Those are the first three. And so he is a God. There is no depression or anxiety in heaven. So whatever bringing the kingdom to earth is about, what's the atmosphere in heaven and how do we bring it here? So that's why we say, because the world might tell you, well, you just need medication and you need more counseling. And I'm not saying that those things aren't necessary sometimes. But the kingdom says, we want you to be free of this. The kingdom wants you to live in joy and love and peace. So that's why if you're stuck in it, know that that's what God wants for you. Right? And then try to find those people that believe the same way and will give you tools or help you with that. What do you think?
I would say, like, anyone that I've ever known or seen depression on, I have always noticed it partners with isolation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so there's like this insidious darkness that comes over a person when they're depressed to isolate and to push them to the margins so that they're alone.
Yep.
And I don't believe freedom from depression can come without a community of people in your life.
100%. Yeah.
So I would say anyone that is struggling with depression, recognize that you're isolated and alone, and freedom will come when you allow yourself to be with people.
Yeah.
That's so
And allow yourself to be in the place of true deliverance and a true openness to the Lord to show you where it's coming from, because there's always a root.
Yes.
There's always a ley line in your life. There's always a ley line. It doesn't just come upon you. There's some sort of agreement or some sort of root or some sort of generational thing that is trying to take you out. And recognize that depression always partners with isolation.
That's really good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially, that piece that it doesn't just come upon you. It's not like a virus, right?
No.
It doesn't come upon you. There's a root.
Yes.
And the Lord is faithful to show us what the root is. And sometimes it takes a while.
It does.
And it can be painful.
Yeah, and I think just to not, like you said, not to partner with shame in it. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been struggling or how long this has been your story. Don't let that isolate you or cause you to not share or be hopeful, you know, of who God is and what he wants to do in your life. Because he doesn't change.
Right.
Oh my goodness, what a great conversation. And we really hope that this conversation helps you and blesses you. We do get some great feedback from people that have shared that these conversations are helpful. So I would love to encourage you, actually, if you are struggling with anxiety or depression, would you be brave enough to even let us know in the comments? Would you, because we will pray for you. We will pray that God brings you the people that you need to help you walk out of it and to be free. So we just thank you for being part of this. I think this will be a topic that we'll circle back to another time for sure. But just be blessed. Know that you are loved. Know that there is a king and his kingdom is beautiful and he loves you dearly. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and to follow us on Instagram. Around the Table Inc. underscore Inc. I always get it wrong. Around the Table underscore Inc. on Instagram. And then our website is aroundthetableinc.com. Yes. So thank you so much. We will see you guys next time.